Can you give me some examples of templates that you know? Why is it watching you now? Because you are wearing a white shirt. All right. Can you give me some examples of templates that you know? Let me try to put it this way. It's what focusing on you instead of focusing on the object. Okay, guys, can you give me some good examples of template that you know? Can you see the screen here? Is it seeing the screen? It's turning that way. Don't worry, it's gonna turn. Right. Go this way. It's getting confused now. Okay. Maybe you're gonna turn later, right? Okay, guys, can you give me some examples of these are some examples of template, right? These are some examples of template. Maybe I have to make it stable. Let me make it stable, right? Instead of turning. Okay, these are some of the examples of templates. You got memo. Memo is used for what? I told you yesterday. For correspondence. You know what is correspondence? Correspondence. What is correspondence? You don't know. To communicate, to disseminate information, right? When you write a letter to somebody, you are corresponding with that person, right? Memo is used for internal correspondence within the project environment, right? Yeah. Then we talk about emails. What is it? For correspondence as well, right? Then document transmittal forms for correspondence. Program schedule is for your program of your project, Gantt chart or whatever, or activities that you need to do. It's like a roster, right? But in project management, we don't call it roster. Call it program schedule. We call them schedules, right? Schedule more or less like a roster. Hello, what is wrong? You are playing game. You know how dangerous what you're doing now. I'm teaching here, standing before you, you playing game. If you want to play game, you better, it's good for you to stay outside and play the game. Okay, then we talk, you give me an example of a template. You, yourself. Huh? Spreadsheet. What is a spreadsheet? Okay, right. So you must give me an example here, what I've got here, right? Okay, it's okay, but you must focus, right? Please, man. I said, believe. So these are example petty cash returns. How many of you have seen a petty cash returns here before? You've seen that? Petty cash returns. Mrs. Ramford taught you this, right? I remember those days when I was small like you, right? Where I worked before in the construction industry. I was a very smart guy, you know. Nonetheless, I'm not trying to praise myself, right? So my first job, let me retract that statement. My first job, I was, how old was I at that time? Let me try to calculate. 88, 89, 20, 21 years. Then in the construction industry, they employed me as a junior quantity surveyor. So where I was assisting the other, we got senior quantity surveyor because I was small. They employed me as a junior one. I was even surprised that day when I went for the interview. When I finished with the interview, the guy just said, "Come, I show you something." Just open an office, say, "This is your office." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, this is your office." Then I sat down. People were coming to look at me. He said, "They've employed QS here now. When they come, they see a small boy sitting down. Are you a quantity surveyor?" I said, "Yes." You know, that time when my boss wants to print, you know, those days, things were not like the way it is now. When we want to print document that time, I must go out to look for a document shop to print out. We didn't have a machine that gonna be like here now. You have got machine, no matter the quantity. So they used to send me out, right? Then my boss will say, go to the cashier, tell the cashier that you want to do some printing. Then the cashier will bring a book, right? He say, how much do you need? Say, okay, they will count the number of pages. They will give me money. So you're gonna bring a book. What is that book? That is petty cash. The first one. Where is it now? There are two petty cash here. Yeah, the petty card version. Then me, I didn't know anything about that, right? Because I was still small. I was still learning. Then he will write my name, write everything. Then he will give me the money. He said, you must bring back the receipt, right? Then I will go there and make copies. That time, they used to give me transport. I was not taking transport. I'm going to walk. That money for transport, I put it in my pocket. Every time they are sending me out to go and make photocopy, I'm going to be happy because I'm going to get money for the transport and put it in my pocket and walk to the place and come back. Then when I come back, the cashier will say, you must come back to me when you finish. Then when I come back, he said, where is the receipt? They're going to bring another book. I think that is the petty cash returns. You're going to bring another book, you're going to fill it and sign it. Then he will take my receipt and attach it. That was when I got to know those stuff. Right. So that is how all these documents we use in the project management. You know, sometimes things are difficult for you to understand because you haven't seen those stuff. You see, from there now I was able to understand, okay, this is petty cash version, this is petty cash returns, all those type of stuff. Right? Even this thing we are talking about, requisition from all these things, most of these things, I saw it on site. When I was very small those days, working in the construction industry. It was a big construction industry. We used to construct roads, houses, bridges, dams. It was a civil engineering company, very big company. We got bulldozers, we got crane everywhere. You know, I was opportune. God bless me that time. They employed me as a junior quantity surveyor. That was where I started. You know, right. But here I am today. From that experience, from what I've seen is what I'm teaching here. Right? Okay. I remember the time I messed up. Yes, you know, as a child, I messed up as well. My boss sent me to go and do measurement. Right? You know, quantities of what we do measurement, we calculate cost. He took me to a site. I went there, I didn't do it. I was not serious. Then, when I finished the calculation, I just tick it. I say it's correct. Then I gave it to my boss. When he checked it, he discovered that I didn't do anything. He said, yeah, you're gonna go home. I was crying. I heard his pains like this, his leg. I said, please, baby, I don't want to go. He said, but you must be serious. Really, I took things serious. He said, go and remeasure it again. I did it and it was nice. You know, you must always focus. Otherwise, I could have lost my job. They were paying me good money. So the document management, as we said, the document recording activities and changes must be stored. So when you finish with this document, you must archive it. You know what we mean by archive? Archive. Archive. How do you know how to spell it? ARCHI. Yeah. Yeah. What does it mean? Yeah. You must put them in a safe place. Uh, possibly you lock it, right? So that next time when you are looking for a document, you can easily trace back, trace document, you can go there to retrieve document. But these days, you got digital as well, right? Where you back it up. You know, backup. You back up your file. So whenever you need anything, or you need the search file, or you are in need of such file, then you go to your where you back it up, then you retrieve it. Right? You store it for a certain period of time. So we said the document recording activities and changes must be done in such a way that they can easily be traced. Very important, right? Accessed and retrieved when they are needed. So in order to do this, a document management system has to be put in place. Yeah. So the system may be manual or computer based, like I explained to you. So it doesn't matter which system is used, as long as the basic principles are followed. So we are now talking in terms of the filing system. Filing is very, very important. You did filing system requirement in level 3. So that is what we're going to talk about now. Because all these templates, these documents that you use in the project environment, you must keep them very well, right? Because sometimes something might crop up whereby you need to refer to those documents. And if you are looking for any document, you can't find it. It becomes a nightmare. It's not easy, right? Let's say your boss say, I need that document. Can you please quickly go and get it? The sponsors or one of the stakeholders is looking for it. Then you're going to be sweating to retrieve the document. And I tell you, if you can't find that document, you're going to be fired. You lose your job straight away. You see, imagine that. You'll be working, they'll be paying you salary, you'll be earning a good life. All of a sudden, because of negligence, of not filing the document properly, then you lose your job. You see? So you must make sure that you file the document properly. You must have a good filing system. You know what I mean by filing system? Right? Like here now, although this my own is not so good, right? But yours must be good. You put the document, either you arrange it in alphabetical order or whatever way you want to arrange it. If it is something that you have to deal with different regions, you arrange it in a regional form. When they say, bring any document relating to Western Cape, you can easily retrieve it. Right. So that is what we are talking about. So a good filing system ensures that the project operations run smoothly as information can be accessed easily and timeously. Timeously means on time. You see what I mean? Because when you are working in a project environment, your boss tells you to go and look for a document. He's waiting for you. If you can't find that document, you are in trouble. Right. But when you do your proper filing, you just get into the cupboard, you open it, you know where it is. Files, for example, if you have different suppliers, you got files for different suppliers, right? Possibly you can arrange it alphabetically, right? You got correspondence files, you got contract files, you got different files. So once they ask you, go and retrieve this document, you don't need to be paging through. You know where it is. You just retrieve it. And you remember when you are filing, right? The most recent one will be on top. And you stamp. You must put a stamp, the date on which you received the document, right? You sign, you put the stamp. So that when you want to retrieve the document, you check the date, you look for a date, you know the most current ones. There are some filing too of some document, for example, drawings. When they issue another drawing, they will tell you this drawing supersedes the previous one. That is another challenging nature. For example, they issue you drawings, right? They will issue you the most current one, and you must always use the most current one. So if you don't do your filing system very well, you don't stamp, put a stamp on the date the document were received. When they need the document to be utilized now, you will not know the correct one. You're gonna go and take the old one. And if you make use of the old one, you commit a very big blunder. And it's a very big mistake because you are not up to date. You see, that one can compromise the contract itself, the project. For example, now, let's say this is a construction project. There is a new instruction that says they don't want a steel window. They want to put sliding window. This is top hang. We call this type of window top hang, right? Steel window. They say, okay, we don't want top hang, we want sliding, right? They've given you a new instruction that you need to file it. So the day that job needs to be executed, your boss, the project manager, will say, go and bring the latest site instruction. You haven't, perhaps you didn't do your filing very well. You didn't know that the latest instruction is the sliding. Then you are still working with the top hand, and you happen to execute it on site. What is going to happen? You made a silly mistake, blunder, which is very costly, and it will as well cost your job. You're going to lose your job. So you must do your filing properly. Right? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So some tips to remember when filing, right? You know, filing itself is a career. There are a lot of people working in the industry or working in the project environment. What they do is file documentation. For example, when you graduate from here, you can as well get that type of a job whereby you will may be employed as a project administrator. You know, project administrator, you can do that. Mostly, what does project administrator does? They assist project manager, most especially for project documentation and the administrative work. You understand that? So these are the tips that I want to give to you in case when you finish from here, you are looking for a job as a project administrator. Now, when you are confronted on the day of interviews, you can be able to say something that is correct, right? Check that all documents are completed and can be filed. Right. For example, you got documents that are 5 pages. Now you are filing 4. You're already making a mistake. Where is the other one? Right? The other one is hanging somewhere. So the day the document will be required, if you cannot produce the 5 pages, the client can say, or the supplier say, they were 5 pages. Where is the other one that is outstanding? So you must make sure that the documents are complete before you file. Does it make sense to you? Right. Then check that attachment are firmly fixed to the correct document. You know what I'm talking about. Check that there are no extra paper attached to the document. Of course, don't file 2 different documents together or attach 2 different documents of different subjects together. Because the time you're gonna be looking for the other one, I'm telling you, you're gonna cry, you sweat because it's mixed together. Even sometimes we do experience this type of problem here, right? If I misplace your file, you know your POEs. If I put another student script and mix it together, we sweat here to sort it out. It's not easy, right? So you mustn't fall a victim to that. Then sort it in order or sort into order, right? For example, if you want to sort it as per the date of receipt, it's okay. If it is alphabetically, it's okay. If it is according to geographical region, it's all right. As per the contractors or suppliers, different suppliers, then it's okay as well. File in the correct place in the filing cabinet. How many of you have seen a filing cabinet here before? Filing cabinet. Have you seen a filing cabinet before? How does it look like? Are you seeing any of such in this class? Do we have a filing cabinet here? Huh? Where is it? In Cape Town. He said we got a filing cabinet in Cape Town. Do you say Cape Town? Okay, just walk through here now. Okay, all right, leave them, leave them. You want to tell them? So you want to use my time to go and do another person's task? How can you rob Peter to pay for? No, Kosi must make an arrangement not to take my periods for on my expense. Oh, for break, not now. That is what I'm saying. I'm worried now because it's taking away my time. And I wasn't a privy to that. She's supposed to come and tell me. Huh? How can you come and take my child away from my house without letting me know? Does it make sense? Yeah, does it make sense? But me, I prepare something to give to you. Now all of a sudden it's getting disrupted. You see, we must plan things ahead, man. You understand? You see, me, I can't do that. We are all, we must always make rational decisions. Now the time you are spending here standing with me, now I'm losing it. You see? Don't worry, the period gonna finish just now. Oh, it's printing. It's just for the printing. Okay. Okay, I will release you on time. Let's do like that. Let me release you on time, right? Maybe let me finish with this, then you go. If you want. If that is how you want it.
But you already put students out now, so we're gonna go. The free period students, they're not supposed to be there, so they're playing games. So now they were removed, and now.
But when you were going just now, you didn't discuss with me this type of arrangement. You say you want to go and see. No, you say you want to go and check whether she is there. No, that is what you said.
I said I'm gonna go ask if she has a lab available.
No,
so
you didn't tell me
that
that.
you can't go in my period.
No, but when you were leaving my class just now, you say you want to check whether she is there. You didn't tell me that you are going to
You
make her.
asked me if she's there, so I said I don't know if she's there. I know what I said, so. But
My friend, sit down. And if you want to go, you can go. Huh? All right. No, if you feel that there will not be another opportunity for you again to print, then you can go. It's not a problem, right? Uh, okay. Let me quickly round up this, right? Then you go. All right. So you need to file in the correct place in the filing cabinet. This is an example of a filing cabinet, right? Look at another one. This is a filing cabinet, right? Then you need to file regularly, right? For example, if you are working in a big project, there will be a lot of project document that will be coming in. If you don't file regularly, you say, okay, let me keep the document till further date or any other date. It might come to a situation whereby it will compile, you will not be able to do it in a good way that you're supposed to do it, right? You're going to be confused. So you must make sure that any document that comes in, as long as it's completed, then you stamp it, you do the filing, right? That is what we are saying. Then check for any missing files and locate where it is, as we said. Then make sure that files are clearly marked with tags. Sometimes it do necessitate for you to tag, to put a tag on the document. Then you make sure that the key people in the project understand the filing system, how it works. You see, when you done your filing, perhaps there might be some days that you are not there, right? So when you must make sure that other people knows how the filing system works. Once you are not there, somebody else can go there and retrieve whatever documents that needs to be retrieved. Right. So we're gonna stop here, guys. So go and do your printing. Yeah.